Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Luis, back again for another video. I'm sorry I haven't posted in a little while. That's because I went to Mexico to visit my family, but I am back and better than ever. And now, today, you officially passed the bare basics of JavaScript, and now I am going to show you about JavaScript DOM. Now, what is JavaScript DOM, you may ask? Now, if I look up JS DOM in here, and I go to images, we will see that it shows the DOM is a document and it holds the HTML and the HTML holds the head and the body. So if you know a little bit about HTML, which you should, it's pretty simple. You can learn that in like 3 days, I swear. It's a piece of cake. Um, so this whole thing is a DOM basically. So like whatever I have here is a DOM, and the DOM holds this, which is the HTML, and the HTML holds the head, and it holds the body. And then, the body holds this, and so on and so forth. There's just a bunch of, like, children, blah, 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 blah. Uh, but, yeah. So if we go to JavaScript and we type in document, we'll be able to access the whole HTML as a whole. Oh, shoot. No, 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 cancel. I don't want to X out. But yeah. Now, in here, if you're gonna, let's say, change the HTML through JavaScript, you're gonna have to either put the script tag all the way at the bottom, or you could do defer like that. Alright, that's bothering me. There we go. Um, yeah, so now what defer does is gonna say, alright, you're going to run the body first, do everything that the body does, and then you're going to go back to the script, and then you're going to do the stuff to the script. So if I wouldn't have that, it would run the JavaScript first, and then it would do the HTML. So whatever I put in the JavaScript, like if I would, do get element by ID app, which I will show you what get element by ID is later, um, it would be like, oh, no, app is there's it doesn't exist because you're talking about what's going to happen in the future for the future for the computer, um for this we're going to remove ID app and we're just going to do a paragraph. Oh shoot, paragraph, and we're going to give it an ID of message. You can give it an idea whatever you want, you should know this. And in that message we're going to put a very false statement. I actually love dogs, but we're going to put I hate dogs. You could have seen earlier that I did it and I had a little error on when I X'd out of it. But yeah, so we have this message, right? And now if I run it, it's gonna say I hate dogs, right? Which is totally false. I don't hate dogs. But for the sake of the video, we're gonna say I hate dogs, right? And then I'm gonna be like, hey, I don't hate dogs. I actually love dogs. But I don't feel like changing it into HTML because I'm weird. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change it in here. So the way I would do this is document dot get element by ID, which it searches the document, like the body for the ID of the whatever you want to find, and then you put in message. And then in here I'm gonna do, you can either do dot inner HTML, which can be tricky. That there's some, you know, that can be very susceptible to hackers if you're ever gonna do it in a website. If you're gonna just change the text, you should do inner text. I'll go more into that either later or in the next video. It depends on how much time we got left. And then equal to, and then whatever you want to do. I want to do I love dogs actually. And now if we go back to here and we refresh, it's gonna say I love dogs, right? Perfect. And now going back to the defer thing, if I remove defer or defer, whatever you call it, you know, I'd refresh and it'd say I hate dogs and oh, and I'll get an error. There we go. Perfect. So let's go back and fix that real quick. And yeah, we got that. Now, what is this access? Just this right here. You know, that can be a very tricky thing. So if I do this and do shift delete, let's log this out really quick. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay, just be like that. Yeah. Okay, document dot get element by ID message. Now, I personally don't use get element by ID. I normally use query selector, but that's more advanced. I'll show you guys in the next. It's some different video what the difference between the two is and why query selector and query selector all are superior. But if I do this and I just log it and then I go back, I will get this, right? It's this whole tag in general. So now I can do whatever I want. You know, I can, if it has like a lot of tags, like, it has an ID and it has a class of like hello. I don't know. We can also just log, the inner text, whatever the text is, you know, we can just log that and then boom. Or we can do the ID and it'll say the ID, which is message. And we can also say the class. Now we don't do class because that's a little bit tricky because we have in JavaScript we have this thing that's called a class and it's an actual like class and I should show you guys about that some other time. But if you're gonna access the class inside of inside of JavaScript to HTML, you're gonna have to do class name. And now if I log it, boom, hello. Perfect. You know, Um, so yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with this, You can also do functions. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna do this little thing really quick where I can show you how we can do functions through get element by ID. So, there's also this thing, and it's very, very important. I use it a lot because, you should if you're gonna make a very good interactive website, which is, let's say, we have a button in here, like let's button. ID is equal to correction and then correct the data, right? Now, what button is going to do is I want to make it so that if I click this button, it'll change I hate dogs to I love dogs, right? So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to do document.querySelector, oh crap, dot get element by ID, sorry, for a habit, and I'm going to do message. Oh, no. Correction dot add event listener. Now this is what this does is it adds an event listener. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like if whenever I'm gonna do here, the event listener can have 2 or 3 parameters. Normally you would use two, you know. And then here I'd do like click because we're doing a click. There's also a lot of other. There's change, there's a you can play around with it if you want to like what it does and what it doesn't do. But for now, we're just going to go with the basic click. So when we click this button, it'll do this function. And now in this function parameters, we're going to put event. Now we're not going to use event, but it's just a good habit to get used to, just in case you ever need to use event. So now we got this function. So whenever we click the button, let's just do for now a little test to see if it works. Hello world. Okay. And if I go back and I refresh and I go here, console, you see how it hasn't said anything, but then once I click this button, boom, hello world. And I click it as many times as I want, and it'll just keep on saying the exact same thing. Perfect. Now that we know that it works, we can now do whatever the heck we want from this. Now, let's make it a little cool. Let's see. Let's do Um, actually, I don't think I have enough time, but for now, let's just do this. Um, when it's clicked, we're gonna do document dot shoot get element by ID, and then we go to message dot inner text like how I showed you earlier, and then we're gonna do I love dogs. And now what this will do is it will go back here, and then when you click correct the data, it'll change it to I love dogs. You see? Perfect. Now, I want to maybe speed run this because, I have my little 15-minute thingy for some reason. But I'll show you guys what it does, and then if you can just go through it if you want. Um, so, okay. I'm gonna do if event dot target that actually I'll just show you guys what event dot target is, which event dot target is this is the button, like whatever it's looking for, whatever this is, that's the event dot target basically. So if event dot target um or actually I'm not going to do it this way. I don't have enough time to make it extremely complicated, but I am also going to do event dot target, which if I log that really quick. Okay, there we go. I refresh and then I click it. See, I was going to change this to this, and it's going to say this is the event.target, which is the button. Now, in the button, I'm going to do instead of we can check, dot inner text, and it should say correct the data. There we go. Now we can do just remove this, and we do event.target.innerText is equal to thank you. And now if we go back, boom, thank you. You see? Pretty cool. Now, there's sometimes you can use this on in here, which some people like to do that, but if I console.log this, I don't use it, so I don't even know if it works. But yeah, it doesn't work. Okay. Okay, wait. Yeah, it doesn't. Never mind. Forget everything I said. That's why I don't use this. That's why I use event.target. It's better. It's way simpler to understand and it's. But yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned a little bit about, event listeners, get element by ID, and event. You can play around with this, that's how I learn a lot of the stuff I know is I just play around with it. I find something out and then I just, go through it. I log it and then I see like how it works through the console. And you can learn a lot from it actually, like a lot. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned and I hope you got it around. Bye.